Good evening, fellow deplorables. I had the pleasure of meeting an ex-Green Beret who specialized in cybersecurity and intelligence gathering. He's also a lawyer focusing on constitutional law. Not many people are aware of the deep dive that he is doing, so I'm bringing it to your attention here on TikTok. He goes by the name of Ivan Raiklin, the Deep State Marauder, and I had the pleasure of asking him a few questions. So, here we go.
Okay, so McCarthy gave Tucker Carlson the tapes. Tucker Carlson was only able to play a tiny bit one night, and then he lost his job at Fox. Who got the tapes in the split, and do you have more damning evidence than Tucker would have had?
Okay, ready?
Yes.
So, as far as I can tell, Tucker Carlson owns nothing because it's all owned by Faux News. Because when you go to Faux Nation, every interview that Tucker has done, it's completely gone. Which probably means everything related to that is also gone. Because it was essentially, it looked like an agreement between Faux News, right? We've kind of coalesced a federated team together of people that are absolute subject matter expert in different aspects of, as it applies to January 6th. Some of it you saw here, but then as it applies to the footage, there are different categories of footage, as I like to say it. You have the First Amendment election integrity rally attendees that did their own private citizen video in the collective. I and my networks are the only ones that probably have access to it because the executive branch is not going to get those unless they raid someone to get it, right? Because they're not going to be sent that. You have the MPD body cam footage of the Metropolitan Police Department, and then you have the U.S. Capitol Police CCTV. U.S. Capitol does not wear body cams. You cannot FOIA U.S. Capitol Police stuff. Freedom of Information Act. That's a construct for the executive branch. You can FOIA the Metropolitan Police Department stuff. There is a guy by the name of Gary McBride, M5 Newsgate, that has seen over 10,000 hours of footage in the collective through gaining access to what all the J6 defendants in the collective have obtained through discovery, has been looking at it, parsing it, and assessing it, as well as MPD footage and the video footage of the election integrity rally attendees. And Nicole Reffitt is a lady that is a wife of one of the J6 defendants who's been attending almost all of the J6 trials, who sees the evidence that's being injected. And her and Gary McBride have identified, at least on a couple instances, where what they saw with their holdings is not quite commensurate with what is being injected as evidence to incriminate the J6 defendants. Thus, my hypothesis that it's being manipulated by someone, and that someone is Yogananda Pittman, I have a high confidence level that it is likely that that is occurring. I'm not saying almost certain, I'm just saying that that is likely occurring based on that information and piece of evidence, and a internal whistleblower in the United States Capitol Police, of which you will find out soon when they are ready to kind of put everything out there.
Okay, because you had mentioned earlier that there are people that might come forward and probably have footage, but they're right now a little bit scared. Is there any way to get protection for these people so that they will be less fearful?
Did you have a chance to listen to my press conference Saturday?
Yes, I did.
To add to that, when Kevin McCarthy creates the leverage of what I suggested over the U.S. Capitol Police Chief, who, by the way, was appointed at the behest of Pelosi and Schumer,
yes,
when he and his general counsel pull back on all criminal referrals and say that we are no longer going to prosecute anyone else as it applies to J6, you're going to see all people that were in DC on January 6th release that to the entire world to see through all their platforms. And you're going to see exactly even more damning than what I showed in the documentary movie. Would be my guess.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I hope so. That's what we all hope.
So that's why I'm advocating for that. Let's create the pressure. Let's give the support to the Real Team 6. so that one of them moves, basically says, if you don't do it by date certain this Friday, we're gonna remove you through the motion to vacate.
Okay.
And if you do the right thing, then guess what? I'll be the first one to say, even amidst all the stuff that I don't like Kevin McCarthy about, on this issue, I'm going to have to say that you've earned the speakership.
Okay, so as far as Real Team 6, what is us as private citizens, how can we help you make this happen? By posting, tagging, getting this out?
Court of public opinion is what drives Congress, particularly if you are one of the ones not tethered to and controlled by the party structure. So if you're like a Real Team 6 member, you fundraise off of the people. So when the people are demanding something, you respond to the people. So we collectively need to create the necessary demand signal and then also direct Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Eli Crane, Matt Rosendale, Andy Biggs, and Bob Good to please get involved in essentially getting smart on January 6th and then go in and essentially lay it out. If all 6 of them do a press conference together, laying this out, it's now serious.
Right.
If we can get them to do a press conference, let's say Monday of next week, say, hey, this is what we're going to do because the tapes aren't released yet. Like, there should be a fever pitch demand across all platforms. 41,000 hours will prove that that was a completely illegally conducted event. It was, however you want to frame it, it was illegal, immoral, unethical. But the country deserves to know what happened in the totality.
Yes.
Any mistakes or maybe you can attribute it to just mistakes. Well, let's improve all. Like, best case scenario for some of these actors is they can say it was just a mistake and we didn't know. Well, let's know and then improve off that. I suspect it's more than that. It was intentional manipulation to go after political opponents, and that's why they're holding it so closely to not get it out there to disclose. And it's our job to provide the check. When the executive and legislative branch, and some instances the judiciary is in on it because they were appointed by these executive branch members at some point, then when the states don't do anything, what are the first 3 words of the Constitution?
We the people.
Say it louder.
We the people.
So that's our responsibility. I'm part of the crew. I guess some people call me the delegate at large. America's delegate at large, marauding up there in D.C.
So in the next 60 days, you expect a lot of things to come out, because that's what I'm expecting. In the next 60 days, a lot of information is going to be coming out.
I'm hoping 6 days.
Pardon me?
I'm hoping more like 6 days.
Yes, but...
this week is going to be pretty brutal.
Okay, that's great.
Watch the hearings up on the Hill. You're going to start seeing the media frenzy going nuts.
Great. And next month, the government's supposed to be shut down.
I would rather have a government shut down doing nothing than a government